Yes, and
Good
Yeah,
idea.
good idea. And there are ways that we could save money immediately. You're absolutely right. And that's what we're trying to put into place through the state budget this year, or at least that's what the amendments that we have that would do that. But we have to save money. There's no doubt about it. New York State is too an expensive a state, and we've got to cut costs.
Thank you, caller, very much.
thank you.
Yeah, one of the things that's curious about New York, I think it's one of two states that saddles the local county with a quarter of the Medicaid expenses.
That's right.
Half the states, Medicaid, are saddled. We're saddled this little tiny county, which has the highest number because we have huge seniors and a number of people who are on social services who require this. Who do, and more companies up here are not providing medical insurance. So Medicaid is the next step down. I mean,
And that's why I brought up Medicaid earlier,
Yeah.
because it's such an expensive program,
killing us.
and it's killing us, and we need to do everything we can to reform Medicaid. Recently, our conference came out with a report. We had a task force on the Medicaid program in New York State, and we came out with a report that has many, many, many ideas for reducing Medicaid costs. And as I said earlier, we need to make sure we protect our hospitals and our nursing homes.
Right.
But there's so much waste and fraud in the system. And, you know, I've told you stories in the past about, for example, there was a dentist who was doing 900 procedures per day that dentist
Busy
was.
guy, yeah.
Yes. Well, it was a woman, actually. I know a lot of good dentists, but I don't know anybody that good.
That's fast.
100 per hour.
Yeah.
And was ripping off the system. And the reason that they didn't get detected right away is because the computer system said, oh, a dentist is billing for dental procedures, that's okay. If the dentist had been billing for appendectomies, for example, a red flag would have gone off. Well, those kinds of things are just plain wrong. And every time somebody rips off the system, they hurt every single taxpayer in the state. And that's wrong, and we just can't take it anymore, and we have to change it.
so much waste. You know, I had a visitor last night. An example of waste. You probably got it, and so did I, the census form. They asked you to fill it in and save a lot of hassle. I filled mine in the same day, and it took me 45 minutes because I had to fill in identical stuff almost for both me and my wife. All right, so I sent it in. Well, a couple of weeks later, I got another form. I said, oh, I threw it away. I figured this is a computer error or something. Well, then I received 2 or 3, I think it's at least 2 postcards remind me to fill in my form. So I called them. I said, what's going on here? This is costing a lot of money, all this stuff.
Right.
I said, I've already sent mine in. He said, well, we don't check that because we're not at the point in the accounting that we can check it. So we just send them out to everybody automatically. And I said, well, you know, that's a good buck here, but all right. I said, laughingly, I said, you know, I half expect a census taker here next. Guess who dropped in last night?
Oh,
The census
you're
taker.
kidding me.
And he was very annoyed at me because I kept telling him, sir, let me explain very slowly, since we're having a communication problem here. I have already filled it out. I have sent it in. I do not wish to, well, let me be a little stronger. I refuse to fill out another one with you, kind as you may be. And he still flipped it open and said, well, this will just take a few minutes.
Oh,
Finally, I said, no. Absolutely not. I started to yell at him. He said, you're raising your voice. I said, well, you're antagonizing me. First of all, you're
it's just
contradicting
ridiculous.
me.
You know, and actually it makes people turned off from something that's extremely important, because as
It
you
is,
know,
yeah,
it's extremely
right.
important to fill out those census forms, and so that we get counted in this part of the state.
Well, we get the other federal money. That's the important thing.
It is, and you know, and I say this, and it's so true, that we're so far away from the power centers of Albany and New York City in our part of the woods, and it's important that we have every single person counted so that we get the representation that we need and deserve. And those census forms are the way to do it. So I would encourage people to send them back. I know
Right.
that some people feel that they're a hassle, and I'm glad you didn't assault the poor census worker. or
Hardly.
anything.
I did. I gave him a little bit of what we used to call Mount Judo. But no,
I can't
no,
imagine you
no.
doing that.
No, I told him, I'll be on your way, and it's nice meeting you. You're very kind.
But you're right. You know, the point that you're making about a lot of government waste
Totally screwed up.
is, yeah.
Totally
yeah.
screwed up. We're with Cathy Young. She's our New York State Senator, and she's very, very good at helping us out here in Chautauqua County. And Cathy, if they ever wanted to get in touch with you, how would be the best way to do
Well,
it?
there are many ways to do it. I actually have a Jamestown office, and if you have a pen ready, we have a phone number there, and it's 664-4603. That's 664-4603. And you can email me. My email address is cyoung, all one word, at senate.state.ny.us. And if you just Google my name, though, usually my Senate site comes up. But
Sure.
we love to hear from people, and you can write me a note if you want to. I tell people you can trip me on the street if you want to, but I feel that I can't represent people unless I'm in touch with them, and that's why I spend a lot of time in my communities and traveling around and seeing people. And you know, today I'm going to Cassadaga, after this, and then Allegheny County, and then back tonight I'll be in Gary, Dunkirk, and Fredonia for some events with people, but I want to hear from people, and I want to hear what's on your minds.
Okay, don't forget, Cathy is very responsive. You will receive a response, and it'll be probably the best information you can get. Well, Cathy, you've served us now for how many years in the Senate?
2005. Actually, on May 10th is the date I was elected in the special election.
Okay, so, and of course you had to run 3 times. The first round, right? That's enough to discourage anybody. But Pat was a winner too. What a gal she
Pat
was,
McGee was. You know,
yeah.
we miss her so much.
Okay, well, I'm going to give you a couple of minutes just to sort of wind up. I did want to mention one thing, a curiosity. This gentleman talked about consolidation. You know, up in this area, we have an awful lot of towns which only have one village. That's it, town village. Westfield town has a village of Westfield in it. That's it, Ripley Township, Ripley. And they keep saying, why don't you consolidate these at least? Close some offices, close some garages, you put this stuff together and save all this money. Well, Westfield has a problem. The Westfield has a real sweetheart electrical deal. We have very cheap electricity with the village. Now, if the town took us over, which is the way it works, bye-bye.
That's why it doesn't work for everybody.
The contractors are going to say, you know, your deal's off.
Right. So, you know, you have to do consolidation that makes sense, and if it doesn't make sense, you shouldn't do it. And that's one of those cases.
Right. Okay.
Oops, what does that mean?
With the squeak, we're out of here. Let me try it again.
Okay,
this machine is a ton. Well, go on. 30 seconds, uninterrupted.
Well, right now I'm pushing as hard as I can to get the state budget passed. People should be following the law. Government should be leading by example. We expect every school district and every local government to get their budget done on time. A lot of people are depending on the state budget getting passed. We have a fiscal crisis that needs to be solved. There are several solutions that are out there, and we can turn the state around and our economy around if we put into place the right policies, and that's what I'm going to continue to fight for.
Thank you very much. Remember, the legislature does not get paid until they pass. That's still
as well. It should be.
They're not violating that one. So you have to borrow money now, right?
Yeah, you got $5.
Okay, guys, I just want to say thank you for tuning in. Last caller, I'm sorry, probably our friend in Chautauqua, but we'll get back. You'll be back sometime soon.
Yes, I will.
Okay, terrific.
Absolutely.
Cathy Young doing the job for us in the state Senate. I want to thank all the people who called in and all the people who are watching, and I remind everybody we're on all over the county every day. I want to thank Chuck Kelsey, Devin Taylor. I want to thank Chris Burke, Chris Ramaker, Mort Flexer, Randy Burke, Jeff Zuck, Dan Zenz, and all the world. Get out there and wine and dine your mother or your children. Get out and do this for you. This is Mother's Day tomorrow, and you get a fine dinner, you get breakfast in bed, and you get a huge bouquet of at least 6 or 12 long stem roses. May all that is proud and true and noble abide with me and you. I'm Reed Powers.